This is G.I. Joe 30th anniversary. Seymour Sci-Fi Fine, the Elite Combat Trooper. Now I know I've said it before that I'd be limiting my G.I. Joe purchases to just the Renegades for 2012, but this particular figure had a lot of sentimental value for me. In fact, back in the 80s, my very first G.I. Joe figure was actually none other than Sci-Fi. And I figured, I passed up on, I did get Stalker, but the Zombie Viper, but I didn't bother getting the other figures because they were just, I got sick and tired of the 80s G.I. Joes and I decided not to pick up the updated versions. But this one I made sure not to pass up on because, as I said, lots of sentimental value. And just to give you a glimpse of how my childhood was back in the day, this is what's left of my Sci-Fi figure. Yeah, Filipinos watching, this is the Manananggal state of G.I. Joe figures, the half-body state. I've already lost the legs because the rubber elastic that holds the waist piece and the crotch piece has already all but been decimated because of weathering and just depreciation. There's only a bit of tape sticking both the lower torso to the upper torso, and as you can see, every single bit of plastic has already faded. I've even lost his thumb from constant adjusting and readjusting the grip, the kung fu grip on this figure. Yeah, I've been trying to look for the legs in this old closet, but no luck. And this is all that's left of Sci-Fi. But really, my very first G.I. Joe, took him apart, put him back together, was really curious at how this thing worked, because back in the day, if your childhood was in the 80s, you'll know what I'm talking about. And the only other cool figures out there were from Kenner. Before Hasbro bought Kenner, they had Silverhawks, Ghostbusters. What else did they have? They had they had Mask. But anyway, the figures had no articulation. They did. They had the basic 5-point articulation: swivel neck, swivel arms, swivel shoulders, and swivel hips. That was it. Kenner and Star Wars. Goodness, how could I forget? They did very little articulation. Hasbro had Transformers and G.I. Joe, and G.I. Joe was a figure that was well ahead of its time. And back in the 80s, this kind of articulation was unheard of. Only Hasbro had this plethora of articulation for their figures, and it was really amazing to actually be able to pose your figures compared to what Kenner had back in the day. And I was absolutely fallen in love with the G.I. Joe figures, and Sci-Fi was the first one I had, and I took it everywhere. Took it in school, and yeah, everywhere. Yes, even in the bathroom, whatever. Anyway, so here he is. Yeah, even the gun has been updated. So, just to compare these two guys, I mean, the proportions are a lot better, obviously. The green is a lot better. The old Sci-Fi green was something like that, or like that. This one is a little bit better, I think. Yeah, but overall, all the details that were on the previous figure, they've actually just improved on with the new figure. Even in the backpack, look at that. That is so uncanny. And I am just amazed at how updated this figure is. And Hasbro decided to really go ahead and update it. So, even the gun. Look at that barrel. Pretty awesome. So, is the wire the same? No, this one's a little bit thinner. The old ones were a little bit thicker. So, onto the figure itself. Just a quick look at the packaging and the rest of the assortment. Yes, I did get all the Renegades figures. I did get Sci-Fi, Zombie Viper, but passed up on Lifeline and Techno Viper. Yeah, I know everybody is just trying to get their hands on Lifeline, but the character just really didn't appeal to me that much, so passed up on it. It comes with a removable stand. It says Sci-Fi, the G.I. Joe logo. Comes with an extra helmet. This one is the one. Well, this one has the faceplate down, all the way down. This one just has it covering his eyes, which we'll get to in a little while. Oops. Bent that way too much. Okay. So onto the figure itself. Come on now, stand up. Very, very awesome figure. I'm so even surprised at how much detail Hasbro's put in it. Look at that, even the backpack. I'm not entirely sure if the backpack goes up. Based on the packaging, it says right there that the ridged or ribbed part stays on top, so I'm guessing that's where it is. But you can also move it downward here, so it's not as bulky or so much of a kibble. You do it that way, but I like my traditional look better. So anyway, it's that. Very cool articulation. He's got the most of the 25th anniversary articulation on him. He's got a ball jointed neck, ball jointed upper torso, ball hinge shoulders, ball hinge elbows, swivel wrist. I was expecting it to be a ball joint, given the fact that the Renegades figures were already ball hinged. Ball jointed hip, very old school type of hip. Metal piece right there. I guess that's the same for the 25th anniversary Joe, so they just migrated it to 30th. Double jointed knees, very, very cool. There's a molded piece of plastic that attaches this part to the side of the calf. Doesn't really hinder the articulation as much. Ball hinge ankles, so very, very nice. Absolutely brilliant figure, and I'm just very happy to have him. He's got his removable helmet, and finally I get to see what Sci-Fi looks like. Look at that. Kind of looks like Steven Tyler during his younger age. Or, I don't know. Yeah, whatever. This one, it gives him like he's got this RoboCop thing going on. Right there, so very classic. You can give him an updated look with a close version. He looks like a I don't know, something from a sci-fi movie. Ha ha ha, pun intended. And yeah, this one looks pretty cool. Yeah, but I'm happy with the classic look, so he's gonna stay with this one. So, there you go. If you're just a casual G.I. Joe collector, I wouldn't go as far as full on recommend this one and hunting him down. He's not one of the more popular characters back in the day. But if you are a completist, if you had the same childhood as I did, and you're gonna want this figure, a lot of people have been trying to get this one. It took me like a couple of months just to get him, and I was surprised. I actually thought people were just gonna go for Lifeline and the Zombie Viper, and that was it. But apparently a lot of people were really after this one. I've been asking around, anybody wanted to trade it or something. Nobody wanted to give up their Sci-Fi, so very, very well done, Hasbro. You've actually outdid yourself on this one, and I am very, very pleased. Yeah, so there you go. If you like this video, please don't forget to add it to your favorites or click the thumbs up icon at the bottom if you want to know my latest toy purchases and upcoming reviews, so you don't have to keep asking me if I'm going to get a particular toy or not. Please follow me on Twitter at www.twitter.com/fxfriends. There you go, folks. G.I. Joe, the 30th, my bad, 30th anniversary Seymour Sci-Fi Fine Elite Combat Trooper. Oh, by the way, I do have another channel. It's called Chefatron on YouTube. You want see more of my videos, please subscribe to that channel as well. Thanks for watching.